I won't lie to you, the game got me interested with its visual style. Because of its visual cuteness and because of the rot, and you will understand what I'm talking about in a bit, I thought that this would be a great game to play with my kids. And to be fair, it was, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. So in this video we're going to be reviewing Corne Bridge of Spirits and deciding whether it is worth it to buy right now or not. So without further ado, let's just get it started. And as always, as every single one of my videos, I'm going to be giving you the answer right away, and the answer is this. Yes, Corne Bridge of Spirits is insanely beautiful and very relaxing game, except when it comes to a boss combat, because it can be a little challenging, and the story, which can be pretty sad. But all in all, it's an amazing game, rather short but pretty cool game nonetheless. But now let's get into the details. So what even is Corne Bridge of Spirits? This is a third-person adventure game where you're playing as, well, Corne. You are a spirit guide, and your goal is to guide the troubled spirits into their afterlives. And at first it might seem a bit kind of horror-ish, but no, it's not scary at all. The feeling-wise, this game reminds me more of a Pixar movie rather than any, well, horror about spirits and things like that. You're playing in this kind of like a level-based open-world game where you can go and return to different places anytime that you want. And your overall goal is to get to a mountain shrine, which is the topmost point of the map. And yeah, everything that you do is, well, guided towards this goal. And to do so, you need to help a few spirits to, well, find a passage and then open the passage there. And as you start the game and progress, you quickly found out that the world around is being plagued by some kind of sickness that is killing and destroying all life around it. And destroying this kind of like a plague creatures will be your additional goal. Story-wise, I won't lie to you, this game is not very long. It took me exactly 10 hours to beat it, and probably 95% of this time was focusing only on the main story. But there are some additional things that you can do that will probably extend the game to maybe to 20 hours. So it's not very long. The entire game will revolve around the freeing of the 3 different spirits. I don't know if it's spoiler or not, but it's kind of like a spoiler. Nothing exceptional though. And each spirit will require 3 different artifacts to, well, summon this spirit and then to fight it and to free it. So that's basically what the gameplay loop is. And each artifact can be hidden just in a plain sight, or it can be defended by the lesser bosses or behind the platforming puzzle and things like that. And you are progressing through the game like that. You're basically moving through one territory, finding these 3 clues, finding these 3 objects, summoning the spirit, fighting the spirit, and freeing the spirit, and then moving on to the next one. And in its entirety, you have 3 different spirits like that. And at the end, you also have an end boss. And to be fair, story is incredibly touching, and the characters are very, very fleshed out. And I felt like genuine warmth in my heart and genuine sadness when I was going through the story. It's incredibly touching and very, very amazingly played story. And only character that I didn't enjoy that much, that did not have quite as big of a development, even though she did have it, is the main hero herself, Corne. She was not as fleshed out as the other characters, but maybe that's because her story was fleshed out through an entire game rather than through the certain sections like the specific characters did. But enough about the story. Story is great, story is amazing. How it actually plays, that's the most important thing. So you can say that game consists of 2 parts. The entire gameplay loop consists of 2 parts. It's your platforming and it's your combat. For both, extremely useful are the creatures called the Rot. Rot, not in the bad way, it's with the capital R. They're just called Rot. These are small, black-colored, very, very cute creatures that you will be finding in a while. That more of the creatures that you will have, more levels you will gain. And by gaining these levels, you can have multiple powerful attacks chained one after another, because you'll be using this Rot in your attacks. But what is cool, when you get into combat, the entirety of the Rot energy will go to 0, because yeah, your Rot will be afraid. You need to gather courage. Courage is basically kind of like an additional mana meter, or if you want to call it the stamina meter. As you fight enemies and as you kill them, they are dropping this courage and the Rot are picking it up. And more courage you have, more broad attacks you can perform. And when you perform these rod attacks, and these attacks can be different things, like the rod attacking the enemy directly, where they are just stunning enemy, giving you an ample room to attack, or it can be a charge attack, like the charging up your staff or charging up your bow to hit with quite a powerful attack. And speaking of bow and different attacks, as you progress through the game, you unlock different weapons, or rather you unlock different abilities of your staff weapon. In the beginning you can only just light attack and heavy attack, but as you progress you will also unlock bow and arrow, transforming your staff basically into a bow. And you can also unlock kind of like grenades as well. By playing the game you also gain the points, the special points, which allows you to buy different skills, like ability to have stronger shield. Yep, you can actually have a shield surrounding you, preventing, defending you from any attacks, well, at least until the shield meter will go down. You also have an ability to spirit dash, basically traveling to spirit realm and attacking from there with a powerful attack, which is great against some enemies, because some enemies closer to the end of the game are the spirit enemies. In order to get them out of spirit realm, you need to attack them with a spirit dash first to get them out, and then attack them with the regular attacks. And the combat is very reminiscent to a simplified version of a Dark Souls. You are basically attacking them, you are attacking enemies, enemies will attack at you, you can block the attack or parry attack, and if you parry, it will unlock a little bit of window where enemy becomes stunned and you can attack them. Or if you block them, some attacks can be blocked because yeah, it will not deal a lot of damage, but some cannot be blocked because it will just break your shield immediately. Enemies usually have an exposed weak point, and if you attack them with your bow and arrow, it will deal massive amount of damage. And in some cases, some enemies need to be dealt some additional damage to take their armor off first and then being attacked. So yeah, it's pretty interesting and pretty cool, and you have quite a lot of different mini bosses, which will be a little bit difficult to fight at first, but will become more easier and easier towards the end of the game. But it will never become very easy unless you're playing at the very low difficulties. I played the medium difficulty, and I'm not the best and most agile gamer, especially in Souls-like games. But yeah, it was a little bit difficult in the beginning, but towards the end it was quite, well, challenge, but pretty fun challenge, and well, pretty completable challenge, if I will call it anything. As for the platforming, it's extremely easy. It usually consists of using your grappling hook, and it's basically an arrow that you will hit to the special points and it will use a grappling hook, and using your rod to unlock different points on a map, or just using your grenade to allow different stones to be lifted up as platforms and just rotating them and using them. It's actually pretty easy. It's nothing complicated, but it's pretty fun nonetheless, without overstaying its welcome. Overall, game is unlocking quite a lot of new mechanics, not extremely different from one another, but unlocking them in the perfect points where previous mechanics would not become way too outdated and way too overused. But what about the price? How much the game will cost you? So game is available on Steam for the base price of $39.99 for tier 1 countries and $18.49 for tier 2 countries, and it can go as low as $19.99 for tier 1 countries and $9.24 for tier 2 countries. So is it worth for those prices? I bought this game in a 50% sale, and it cost me less than $10. Am I regretting this? No. I got the 10 hours from the game, and if I continued playing this game, I would probably get maybe another 10 hours, because there are a lot of collectibles that you can collect, there are a lot of costumes that you can unlock, there are a lot of hats that you're unlocking for your rod, and there are a lot of things to do, and it's pretty fun and pretty interesting, especially if you're gonna do this during a new game plus. And yeah, you can play the new game plus, and with the new game plus you have all your abilities already unlocked for you, which is pretty cool. So for this price, it's pretty cool and pretty worth it. But would I pay, let's say, full price? Maybe not. Not because the game is bad, again, but it's just way too short. It's a very dense game, and it's very fun and very interesting through and through, from the very beginning to the very end, and you can complete the game on a single breath, and it's extremely fun. But 10 hours for the main campaign and 20 hours maybe for the completionists, it is not worth to pay $40 for. But for $20, yes, this is amazing experience, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So let's conclude. Is this game worth it? Yes. Would I advise you to pay full price for this game? No. Would I advise you to buy this game on 50% sale? Absolutely yes. Game is beautiful, game is amazing, game has interesting combat, and if you want a challenge, just go and play on the higher levels of difficulty where enemies are more aggressive, attacking you more often and hitting you much harder. It has RPG elements like the special unlockables and the special charms that you can put on your weapons, giving you a different set of challenges, like massively increasing your damage by massively decreasing your health, or some additional effects. It is pretty great and pretty fun, but not for the full price. And as for the rest, decide for yourself. Well, this will be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.